Jake Paul. All day, every day.
Why?
Just think he knocks him out cold.
Would you be willing to take the bet with Tyson Fury that's saying that Jake is going to beat you?
No, I'm not worried about what Tyson Fury's got to say. That's what I'm saying. It ain't even about the money. I'm betting on myself.
Yep.
I'm focusing on myself. I'm fully betting on myself. I ain't worried about what anyone's got to say.
So when I'm bouncing around the ring, jabbing, weaving, and doing all of these things, I know I can pick them apart and score points and make this a very, very big contest.
According to reports, Tyson Fury shocked everyone when he suddenly crashed the Anthony Joshua vs. Jake Paul press conference, instantly changing the mood in the room. Cameras rolling, Fury delivered a bold warning to Joshua, saying Jake Paul is far more dangerous than people realize. He claimed Paul has the power, discipline, and self-belief to pull off a huge upset. Fury even said he would bet £1 million on Jake Paul to beat Joshua, sending shockwaves through fans and analysts everywhere.
About possibly Joshua using Jake Paul as a tune-up to fight you. What are your thoughts on that?
I don't know about tune-up. I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. And I like his new heavyweight look. Bit chubby, bit bulky. I like how Jake Paul calls out the full spectrum from
Anthony Joshua quickly responded to Fury's £1 million bet. He said he isn't paying attention to side bets or outside noise. Joshua made it clear that he's only focused on his own training and performance. He dismissed Fury's wager as meaningless, saying he prefers to back himself rather than get caught up in hype. Joshua said he just wants to fight, get paid, and move on. No betting games, no distractions.
Would you be willing to take the bet with Tyson Fury that's saying that Jake is going to beat you?
No, I'm not worried about what Tyson Fury's got to say. That's what I'm saying. It ain't even about the money. I'm betting on myself.
Yep.
I'm focusing on myself. I'm fully betting on myself. I ain't worried about what anyone's got to say.
He did say he's going to put £1 million on it. Would you be willing to take that bet with Tyson Fury?
Respectfully, I'm not worried about what Tyson Fury's got to say, or I'm not here for any of that betting and nonsense. I'm here to fight, and that's all it is. Once I get the job done, I'm going to collect my check, cash it, and I'm going to focus on the next one. My bet is on me doing the number.
Paul, meanwhile, says he can beat Joshua because Joshua struggles with smaller fighters. Analysts, including a commentator named Henry from a podcast, studied Joshua's fights with smaller opponents and pointed out patterns. While Jake claims it's a weakness, the analysis shows that Joshua's power, technique, and reach usually make up for any size differences. The debate continues, but one thing is clear: Joshua's experience and preparation make him a huge challenge, no matter how confident Jake Paul is.
Definitely doesn't struggle, and that's against guys who are of a similar stature to him. When he won his first world title against Charles Martin, he was a taller heavyweight, not taller than AJ necessarily, but a heavyweight of taller stature, and he got that one with a very simple knockout. It was one of the easiest fights of Anthony Joshua's career. He had a war against Vladimir Klitschko, but again, he was highly competitive and eventually managed to get Klitschko out of there. In the Kubrat Pulev fight, while it was a mixed performance, he did end up producing one of his best knockouts. Similarly against Robert Helenius, whilst AJ probably didn't put in one of his best performances again, it ended in another dramatic knockout. He was punch perfect against Otto Wallin, in my opinion, and he had that absolutely devastating knockout win against Francis Ngannou, who, of course, an absolutely enormous man with a fantastic chin, or so it seemed until Anthony Joshua got his hands on him. Even earlier on in his career against the likes of White, Brazil, and Molina, these were all taller heavyweights who AJ dealt with consummate ease. Of course, most recently he had that loss against Daniel Dubois, but we can't say that Daniel Dubois...
Jake presents himself as fearless, ready to fight anyone, but deep down, he knows the size difference is massive. He even jokes that he needs to look up just to make eye contact with Joshua. Still, he tries to show the same confidence he brings to every big event. Jake wants people to believe that confidence alone can carry him against a former world champion who has beaten top-level fighters. He frames the fight as a lesson for young athletes.
You, Anthony Joshua, how we doing?
Dude, never been better. This is what I dreamed of. This is what I manifested into reality. I'm here to shock the world, inspire the next generation. We're in the Heat arena. I'm a big Heat fan. Miami's on fire. This is my first pro fight, was in Miami against Gibb. I'm bringing that same energy here. First round KO.
And the Schmo interviewed you there. When you fought Gibb, it was on Fight TV. We've been with you along the way. Not very many times you're looking up at a face-off. So what did you make of looking up for one of the very first times at a face-off right here?
Just looking up at Daddy there and just seeing, you know, how big he is, and just my eyes were kind of going into his nipples and stuff, which I kind of liked. And then basically I was just like, whoa, he's big in that. And then, yeah, I can't believe how tall he is.
Is this chain really on the line for the winner?
I don't know if it's confirmed, but I mean, I'm down. But he has to put something up, too. There has to be something in it for me.
You say this is the biggest upset that's going to be in boxing history, right up there with 42-1 with Buster Douglas.
Yep.
What is the headline going to be when you knock this guy out and he's laying on the canvas?
Matchroom CEO Frank Smith has added new controversy to the Joshua vs. Jake Paul fight. He says the event is more show than sport, designed for entertainment, not true competition. According to Smith, the fight is built to create shock value, not to uphold real boxing standards. He also said he still hopes the Fury vs. Joshua fight can happen, calling it the biggest fight in boxing. Smith believes it could finally take place by 2026, but he warned fans that in boxing, big fights often fall apart because of contracts, negotiations, and politics.
Just to silence all the doubters here, you know, a lot of people saying this can't be real, you know, Anthony Joshua going in there, it must be an exhibition, or Anthony Joshua's it's going to be choreographed and Anthony's going to carry him through a couple of rounds. I know Anthony Joshua, just to silence all those doubters, he's going to go in there to do a job, right?
It's 100% real. It's 100% real. People asking why is it 8 rounds, not 10? Because I don't think it goes past the first round. So it's, you know, regardless, it's quite irrelevant. I think he steps across the ring and knocks him out, you know, but we're in for a bit of fun and everyone's going to be tuning in.
It might not be fun for Jake Paul. I mean, it's serious entertainment, is it?
Yeah, 100%. You know, look, I agree with you. I accept Jake Paul is absolutely mental for doing this. And I don't think he quite realizes. I think he's got people around him who actually are saying, you know, Anthony Joshua's chinny. He said it in interviews. It's quite wild, but you know, if that's the world he wants to live in, he'll find out on December 19th.
And Frank, to finish with, the plan is still sometime in 2026, AJ against Tyson Fury. And Turki Al Sheikh's working on that, is he?
That's the fight we want to make. That's the fight we want to see. Look, we're all guilty of doing a lot of talking over the years and that not happening. So I don't want to talk too much, but that is definitely what we want to see in 2026.
Joe Rogan thinks the matchup is extremely dangerous. He called it one of the craziest fight ideas in recent years. Rogan says Joshua's size, power, and experience make him a serious threat for Jake Paul. He doubts any special rules or contract terms will reduce Joshua's danger. Rogan pointed to Joshua's knockout of Francis Ngannou as a clear warning, showing how powerful and explosive Joshua truly is. He believes Jake Paul stepping into the ring with Joshua isn't just risky, it could end badly.
Anthony Joshua.
Boy. Well, realistically, it's one of the craziest propositions of all time. You take a guy who just had a boxing match that looks like a sparring match with a 58-year-old Mike Tyson, and then you're going to fight one of the absolute scariest knockout artists in the heavyweight division. Maybe we should watch the Francis Ngannou fight. So you could see, let's watch that real quick. Just so you can see what Anthony Joshua is capable if he's fighting someone that's not in his league. Okay, look, Usyk beat him, and he beat him twice, and Andy Ruiz caught him in the first fight and dropped him and stopped him. It was spectacular. Andy Ruiz is super fucking talented. Usyk is perhaps the greatest heavyweight boxer of all time. Maybe one of the greatest of all time in any weight class. Usyk. You know, and Usyk beat him, and he beat him twice. But Francis Ngannou is coming off of this fight with, like, go a little bit before that so we can see this happen. Watch this. So he drops him with a right hand early. And this is like 2 minutes into the first round. And Francis gets up. He survives. And then Joshua, check out this combination he hits him with. I mean, dude, the speed that he hits him with this, he's so dangerous, man. It's like you're dealing with a guy who's an Olympic gold medalist, and he's enormous, and he's got vicious knockout power, and he's got immense amount of experience at world-class levels. Just think about what we said earlier. Fought Usyk twice. Fought Andy Ruiz.
What do you think? Can Jake Paul really shock the world and beat Anthony Joshua? Or is the size and experience gap simply too big? Tell us in the comments below.